All right. Good evening, everyone.
Let me know if you can hear me, please.
Drop in the chat box. Drop in the chat box. If you can hear me, kindly drop it in the chat box so that we can comment in earnest. If you can hear me, kindly drop in the chat box, please. Let me see in the chat box if you can hear me. Drop in the chat box so that we can quickly commence. If I'm audible and the design, I will be guiding us through on the design. Okay, we are reconnected. I had a bridge in connection. All right. Now, the first thing when you are to design, the first thing you need to get is the dimension of the design you want to design. What's the size? What's the size of the design? What's the height? What's the width in what you are to design? And when you look at what we have here is a portrait kind of design. There are two ways or thereabout you can go about it. You can set up your paper size to be this size of design, or yesterday I showed us of what we call text box. You can use text box. You can use the rectangular shape in the insert tab. You can use them to do this design. So going forward now, let's quickly go to insert. Let's quickly go to insert. Now, when we get to, once that gets set, it's a kind of shape we want. But if you are working for a client and the person wants you to get a particular shape size, then you can as well set up your paper size. And how do you do that? You come to your layout. Might not have the much time to go and show us that, but let's look at that. You come to your layout and you go to size. Here are different sizes. If you didn't see the sizes of what you are looking for here, and I make the height 3, for example 5 inches, and then you see what you are having here. You see what you have here. So if I now change it to this place and bring it down and say okay, for example, let's see how it is. You see the kind of shape you have. So with that, you are getting to see you have already taken your paper size. So, but generally, we are going to, let's look at the A4 paper. This A4 paper, our normal A4. A3 is times 2. A3 is times 2 of A4, while A5 is half of A4. So these are basic paper size that we all know. However, for me to design this, I'm going to use this particular function, the shape functions. I'm going to make use of because what we have here, most of us in the group already have this. You will see it. What we have is a rectangular shape. It's a rectangular shape. So I'm going to use this text box now, and then I will draw. Okay, now this is now having drawn this size. This place, like I told us yesterday, is what you can use to kind of increase the size of your work. Let's say this is okay by me. Let's say this is okay by me. Now, having done that, we are going to be putting some elements. Remember, this is from what we have. I believe we are with it. You you have to duplicate this, so that to design the front and the back, you duplicate this. And how do you duplicate? When you select the shape, when you select the text box, how do you select? You come to the line, your cursor will be like star, it will show like this star. Selected, we bring it down. Let me take this up a bit so that we can see both of them as we work on it. In that regard, we look at the color of what we have. Once we look at the color of what we have, we go to the shape color, and then we click on the shape fill. The colors will come out. We look at the color we have. This most likely is like it's giving me the color. I can take this. I can take this as the color. So in that becomes the color. Then peradventure you did not, you can come to this place called more color fill. More color fill. More color, red, green, and blue. You can mix it up to get certain colors you want. Different. Once you click here, as you can see, this place is showing you the kind of color you are going to get at the end of the day. So you can be checking to check the one that suits what you think you want, and as the case may be. If you are not comfortable with this type, you can go to standard. Standard gives you different aspect. Once you select a particular circle, that's what that is. So you have this standard of custom. This standard of custom where you mix your own color, add it up and see what it will give you. But however, and then I will say no outline. I will say no outline. Now, after that, I will come to shape again. I will come to shape, select any shape that will be okay by me. Any shape. There are different shapes that can do this for me, but let me see if rectangle can do it for me. Of course, let me take this and then I draw from what I have. Now, once I draw, I take it to this is not what I'm supposed to do. I will take it to this place as we are designing what we have there. I will take it to that place. So once I'm okay, I will then rotate it. So once I rotate it to the angle I want, I will, okay, okay. Let me take it up. See how we are. Okay, I'm back. You see how we are getting this using the edit points. So once we are okay with the points we edit, and then from what we have here, depending on the stuff we have. So this is the first aspect of what we have. I think I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay with what I have here. I will click out. That becomes my design. I guess you understood what I did. I came to this edit point and select this edit point and then work on the shapes and work on the shape. This is one of the stuff we use in Microsoft Word too. So I can now adjust it properly. Then I will go to the shape field. And the field is the color that I'm looking for, or is the color that I want. Let's say is this one for me. I'm just using that. Let's say this is the color that I want. And then I will also say no outline, and then position it. So for that, instead of redoing this again, I will have to say Ctrl D. So once I say Ctrl D, I will bring it down, use this my stuff here to rotate it so as to give us a kind of the other shape that we want to get for this business card. So let's say this rotation is kind of a stage. Okay, let me move this up. It seems like I need this to okay. Now, all right. All right. Now, I can move this back. I can move it back. Now, we can rearrange this. Okay. Now, coming to this, now we can come to this shape effect. And then come to shadow and say outside shadow. I think it has a bit of shadow, and then we select this outside shadow. So the shadow effect comes out a bit. And then another thing we do is that we also I think let's check other themes. Okay, other thing we can still do is we come here and say bring forward or bring to the front. So once you say bring to the front, that line that shows on it will be visible. So we are in a means of getting to use Microsoft Word to design this. So these are certain things that at least you can use Microsoft Word to achieve. So we have been able to get to an extent the design we have there. So it's not every now and then that you need to, if you're on a feast, you want to get something. Now, if in this aspect, when the printer prints, there are certain places that can be cut and get it well set. So the next thing we do is to begin to insert the name. From what we have there is a name we have there. So for me, the way I like it is to put the name inside the text box. So I draw a text box. Let's say